Welcome to the podcast, Dr. Ron Unfiltered, Uncensored, where truth is unmasked and honesty is never censored. With each episode, he dives deep into the fray, bringing knowledge and insights, lighting up our way. No topics off limits, no question too bold. Dr. Ron speaks his mind, the stories unfold. With wit and wisdom, he'll challenge the norm. Dr. Ron Unfiltered, Uncensored, keeping us informed.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Ron. Unfiltered, uncensored, definitely unapologetic. Welcome back, everybody. This is the show where we explore the truths about health that the mainstream often overlooks. And today, we're going to dive a little bit deep into what it truly means to live a holistic lifestyle. One that supports the body, nurtures the mind, and energizes the spirit. So we're not going to be talking about quick fixes or trendy hacks, but we're going to be talking about crafting a lifestyle that's in harmony with nature, in harmony with science, and in harmony with our own biology. We may get through it today, or we may have to come back next week and revisit this topic. I think it's really important because of all the advertisements I see for different vitamins, minerals, this, that, the other thing, take this, take that. You sort of forget that we are a holistic body. We have to take a look at things in a broad sense. So let's begin. Because it all starts with what we put on our plates. And I want to start out with the Mediterranean diet because it is not a fad diet. It's been studied for decades, and it's consistently linked to longevity. It's consistently linked to decreased inflammation and also better heart and brain health. So we're talking about whole, nutrient-rich foods. What are they? Extra virgin olive oil, fresh vegetables and fruits, legumes, nuts and seeds, whole grains, wild-caught fish, and yes, moderate red wine. So as part of this, we will have to be talking later in the program about that not all fish are created equal. We'll be talking about farm fish. I've talked about it before, but we got to hit it again. The Mediterranean diet, though, we'll start with this because it's not just a way of eating. It's a lifestyle. It's rooted in balance and fresh ingredients and time-honored traditions. It's been inspired by the dietary patterns of countries bordering the Mediterranean Sea, like Greece, Italy, and Spain. And it has always been celebrated for its numerous health benefits. Now, what's the essence of it? Well, the essence is that you're eating whole foods, minimally processed foods. So people ask me, what is a processed food? If it has a label, it's processed. You don't find ingredient labels on bananas, avocados, etc. So think about fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds. Think about healthy fats. The extra virgin olive oil is the star, alongside of fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. Think about lean proteins. Fish and poultry are favored, while red meat is eaten sparingly. Think about dairy and fermented foods, cheese, yogurt, probiotic-rich foods, which help support your gut health, which is becoming more and more evident that it controls everything And we'll spend more about having a superior interior later in our series. Think about herbs and spices. Instead of salt, meals are flavored with garlic, basil, oregano, and other aromatic seasonings. Think about social and mindful eating. Meals enjoyed with your family and friends, emphasizing quality over quantity. It is a social experience where you're using the nutritious food to fuel your body. And yes, you're hearing all things about alcohol, but wine in moderation. Red wine is included in small amounts, but typically with meals. And research links this diet to heart health and lower inflammation. And I've told you for years that inflammation is the basis of most chronic diseases. And we've talked about the cholesterol derangement syndrome. Well, it's caused by inflammation, not cholesterol. The diet has been associated with improved brain function and longevity. It's more than just a food. It's about enjoying meals, staying active, and embracing a slower, more mindful way of life. Number one, what is on your plate? Number two, movement. Movement is life. I had a professor that said that running water doesn't freeze. You need to keep moving. You don't need to be an athlete. You just need to move regularly and intentionally. Cardio strengthens your heart. Resistance training builds muscle, which is essential for metabolic health and longevity. And don't forget flexibility and balance, especially as we age. We talked about the exercise paradox a few podcasts ago. Well, there's something called the fat but fit paradox, showing that fitness, especially muscle strength and power, matters more than the number on the scale when it comes to leading a long life. We have an exercise paradox, and I just want to let you know there is a fat but fix paradox. So take a walk. Lift something heavy, stretch, dance, move your body like it matters because it does matter. So, what do we know more about? Do I want to tell you more about strength? So, don't think about exercise as something that you have to do. Movement should enhance our life and not feel like a chore. So, find something you enjoy. Could be yoga, walking, strength training, or dancing. Incorporate some natural movements into your day. Take the stairs, stretch in between work calls, and honor the way your body was built to move. Really important. So diet, movement. All right. So we get to number 3, mindfulness and your nervous system. So you know that your mind is not separate from your body. Your mind is the command center. Chronic stress activates the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight mode. And over time, this damages your health because of all the cortisol and adrenaline that's flowing in your body. So we have to think about mindfulness, meditation, breath work that can reverse that, because these exercises activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest and healing mode. So if you want to try something, take a deep breath in and out, but do it slowly 5 times. Well, if you're doing it, you're lowering your heart rate, you're regulating your vagus nerve, and you've shifted your biochemistry. Box breathing. So we have to remember that our health is not just physical. It is deeply connected to our emotional and energetic state. And there's other practices like Reiki and acupuncture that can align our body system and promote healing. And even though it's been around for centuries, the science behind energy healing is emerging now as we speak. But as I said, ancient traditions have long been recognized that when the body's energy flows properly, wellness follows. And we'll be having more about this and explore this topic in upcoming episodes. We've talked a lot about energy healing as the medicine of the future, and it really is. Okay, so now how about we talked about the Mediterranean diet, and what types of food can you add to that? Well, if we talk about food as medicine, well, turmeric reduces inflammation. A lot of people put that in their coffee in the morning. Garlic supports your health. Ginger is good for your digestion. Fermented foods like kimchi, they build up your microbiome. And even simple spices and herbs can act like nature's pharmacy. Remember Hippocrates. He said, "Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food." It's really powerful and it's really practical. But we have to think about it. We have to be mindful. Mindfulness. Just a little bit about number 5, energy, healing, and vibration. Now we go beyond the physical and into the realm of energy. Yes, energy. We are energetic beings, and energy medicine is no longer on the fridge. It's being on the fringe. Those of us that are a little bit older remember the fridge. So this energy medicine, it's being validated every day by science, and more articles are coming out. From Reiki to acupuncture to infrared therapy, grounding, earthing, photobiomodulation, these practices stimulate cellular repair and reduce inflammation and restore balance. And you do know that your cells communicate with light, biophotons. That's how your DNA communicates. Yeah, faster than the speed of light. Scalar energy type of light speed. And we emit and we absorb biophotons. These tiny packets of light that help regulate all our biological functions. So the biochemistry model of health has not really done well for us. But now we have to switch over to the frequency. Every organ on our body, every cell has a frequency. And again, we have had podcasts on this, myself and with Dr. Jerry Smith. And as you remember, I was on a video podcast talking about this. This is another subject, energy healing, that we'll have to come back to and do at least 2 more podcasts just to get you caught up on what's happening for the future, how divining rods are being used to pick up clues in your energy field, and treatments then being validated. So we will talk more about that in upcoming episodes. And then biohacking. Well, if you're living a holistic lifestyle, then there's this art of optimizing our biology. So for more energy, for more focus, and for longevity. And these come after you have mastered mindfulness, keep moving, Mediterranean diet. Then we can stimulate autophagy, getting rid of dead cells that are no use in our body anymore, helping our body to get rid of those. We can do that with intermittent fasting. The mitochondria, the energy cells of our body, they can be stimulated by red light therapy. And here's also where we can talk about methylene blue. We can talk about cold exposures, like cold showers or ice baths. You think it's crazy, but it's been proven to reduce inflammation. And we can talk about supplements like zymesins, a systemic enzyme, the strongest one that's sold in the United States. And we can talk about magnesium and glycine. I can talk a little bit just as an aside. Glycine is an antidote for glyphosate. Glyphosate is called Roundup. It is a poison for our system. It gets into all our cells. It can cause your tendons to rupture, glyphosate. And we might want to think about taking glycine every day. So we'll have to talk more about that. There are a lot of physicians recommending glycine. And if you, to make it easy, just put it in a drink every day. So this biohacking that we'll get into is using science, and it's using our self-awareness so we can live better and live longer. So one thing I do want to just get into just a little bit is this subject about farmed fish. I talked about it, and I keep talking about it. Look, wild-caught fish, that's what nature provides us. The fish are smaller, and they lead to a more varied nutrient profile. You get more nutrients from naturally wild-caught fish. They are higher in parent essential oils. And again, everybody gets confused about omega-3s and omega-6s because the omega-6s are the ones that we get generally are adulterated. They are processed, but omega-6s are anti-inflammatory. Wild fish have more omega fatty acids, which are great for our heart and our health and our brain. They are less exposed to contaminants. They live in a natural habitat. Their exposure to antibiotics and chemicals are reduced because they are not in the areas of farm fishing where these antibiotics and chemicals are used. Wild fish tend to have a firmer texture and a more developed flavor thanks to their varied diet and their natural activity. Now, if you go to Europe and in Spain, especially that I'm familiar with, you go to the store and the fish are caught daily and they're put out on ice to be consumed right away. Farm fish, however, ladies and gentlemen, have a controlled diet. They are fed formulated pellets, which can alter their nutrient composition. They are lower in omega-3 fatty acids. They have fewer due to their diet, though some farms now are supplementing, but it's not natural. Farm fish may be exposed to antibiotics and pollutants. Farm fish are generally more uniform in size, taste, and availability, but they can't reproduce, and it's really horrible when they get out of the farmed area. And they can contribute to pollution. So there are some researchers that are really just saying don't eat farm fish. It's like eating garbage. Well, maybe not that, I'm not that severe, but given the opportunity, eat wild fish. You can refer back to a couple weeks ago on my program on farm fish. So I guess my reason for this podcast today is that you can be healthy without consuming a lot of extra vitamins, minerals, and whatever. But once you get used to eating right, having a good positive attitude, grounding yourself either with a grounding mat, an earthing mat, or going to the beach or walking with bare feet, adding spices and herbs to your diet, learn how to breathe properly, think about when you move regularly and intentionally. Then we could talk more about how to optimize our body. So let's start to understand that food, movement, thoughts, and energy all matter. And more importantly, they all work together. We're not going to be perfect. So it's not about perfection. It's about intention. So start small. Make sure that you switch from seed oils to olive oil. Take a walk after dinner. Try 5 minutes of breath work before you go to bed. Eat real food. Spend a couple minutes, 5 minutes in your bare feet on the earth. Sleep in total darkness. Turn that Wi-Fi off and listen to your body. So treat these ideas like seeds, plant them, and then watch your life transform. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you again for listening to Dr. Ron, Unfiltered, Uncensored. Share this episode if you think that I have something valuable to share. And remember that your health is your greatest wealth. Your health is your greatest wealth. So in the coming episodes, we'll explore mindful movement in more depth. We'll discuss how small changes in daily activity can also transform your health. We'll dive deeper into these subjects. So stay vibrant, stay energized, embrace your journey. Have a great week, and thank you for tuning in.
Hey everybody, Dr. Ron's finished for today. I hope you got some good wisdom for what the man had to say. If it's all about good health, he's the man you got to see. He has a lot more answers for you. So tune in next week when the doctor is in the house. Or when the doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. When the doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. I'm sure he can tell you just what to do. The doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. When the doctor is in